welcome. It's the 7th day of March 2023, and it's another day to bring you the newspaper review here on that TV. My name is Cyril Aloysius, and Jennifer one more is the person here to look at the papers with me. Jennifer, you are welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, and today we'll be starting first by looking at the Daily Sun newspaper. Headlines in Daily Sun here says, the boldest headline here says, APC mocks PDP as Atiku IU lead protest to INEC. APC mocks PDP as Atiku IU lead protest to INEC. Main opposition party insists on cancellation of presidential poll. Main opposition party insists on cancellation of presidential poll. We have no allegiance to any party. That's INEC saying on page 6 of the Daily Sun newspaper. And on page 28 here, in the lower part of the Daily Sun, we have INEC ask court to modify order granting Obi Atiku access to election materials. INEC ask court to modify order granting Obi Atiku access to election materials. Seeks permission to reconfigure BVAS. That's the remove. That headline is on page 28 of the Daily Sun. On page 8, we have APC North Central Forum wants next House of Reps Speaker zoned to region. You can get more of that headlines on page 8, and on page 4, we have Zamfara killings. Zamfara killings. Nigerians must defeat merchants of death. That's Tinubu saying there on page 4 of the Daily Sun. Zamfara killings. Nigerians must defeat merchants of death, according to Tinubu on page 4 of the Daily Sun. On page 28, Atiku loyalist draw battle line with Makinde, threatens to vote APC Gober candidate. Atiku loyalist draw battle line with Makinde, threatens to vote APC Gober candidate. Okay, that's on page 28 of Daily Sun. Still on page 4, we have February 25th polls. February 25th polls. 203 nabbed, 18 firearms recovered from political thugs, according to IGP, Inspector General of Police, on page 4 there. And on page 26, we have Gober Assembly polls. Gober Assembly polls. CSOs warn INEC against repeat of presidential election mistakes. Gober Assembly polls. CSOs warns INEC against repeat of presidential election mistake. That's on page 26 there. And lastly, in the Daily Sun for today on page 8, we have Senate presidency. Senate presidency. APC tips Southeast. Move meant to achieve balanced power sharing, says party chieftain. That story is on page 8 of the Daily Sun. Okay, that's the much we can take in the Daily Sun for today. You want more details on the headlines that you heard, get a copy of the Daily Sun for yourself. Jennifer, one more. APC mocks PDP as Atiku IU lead protest to INEC. I'd like to get your reaction on this headline.
Anyways, it's very funny, but I don't want to see it as a funny one because it's something that concerns my country, Nigeria. But since after the presidential election that was on February 25th, lots of drama has been happening in Nigeria. In fact, we've witnessed lots of drama, and the one that happened yesterday is to what APC has seen as another drama. Though it might not be drama to the major person that has played the role, but to the APC factors, they've seen it that what Atiku Abubakar, the presidential candidate of the PDP, did yesterday with their national chairman, that is IU, did at the federal capital, Abuja, yesterday. They've seen it as a joke. They've seen it that he is an unserious person. Actually, we can remember when...
Unserious person? How? How is he unserious?
Yes, I want to come to that. you know, the mock is actually coming from the APC members.
Okay.
That's the colleagues to the president-elect right now. That's Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So they've seen him as an unserious fellow. I want to quote them right. They've said, "You've just accept that you have lost. In fact, you are a bad loser." That's how they put it. Okay. The APC national chairman yesterday, when he came on air, he said, accept it. PDP, please. Atiku, can you accept that you're a bad loser? You've lost for about 6 times, and this is the 7th time. Okay. Since you said you're actually going to challenge the APC's win, okay, then wait till we meet in court. Why going to the Federal Capital Territory? Why going to Abuja? In fact, they said, why are you blocking the way for those that want to go to work on a Monday, for that matter? Okay, do you need to do that?
So, but Atiku losing, does it really change the fact that there were so many illegalities in the elections, in the polls that day?
That's where the APC came in. They said, if you've actually said that it wasn't carried out properly. Okay. You've actually said that we don't accept the result, that you are supposed to be the winner. And they went ahead telling him that this is an election, just accept that there's a winner and there is a loser. But since you've claimed that the election was not well done, and the next thing is for you to go to court. So wait for us in court.
So you're saying Atiku's actions by going on protest was out of bounds?
To me, I think, yes. Why the protest exactly?
Okay.
And he was
aggrieved. He was sad.
He was sad. He wore black on black. And they also went on and said, you are behaving like people that are carrying out a funeral. Who died? Dancing skelewu on the streets of Abuja. And they went ahead to say, you'll be 77 in November, so I think you should right now retire to your house in Dubai and go and rest. It was too much. The mock was too much. But just like you've said, that is his own way of saying, we don't like what INEC did. Remember, it wasn't only Atiku that went there. He went with the national chairman and every other person that was concerned. Every other concerned person that is in PDP. So it's not just Atiku that went there.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for sharing your thoughts on that particular headline. So we'll move straight now to other newspapers for more headlines. We'll be looking at the Guardian newspaper now. I think the boldest headline in the Guardian here says, okay, it's something we already read before. Atiku leads supporters to INEC, threatens daily protest. Okay, I think that's what we just spoke about. Another headline here says, this one is on page 12, imperative to prosecute election offenders and violators. Imperative to prosecute election offenders and violators. That's on page 12 of The Guardian. This one here says on page 4, uncertainty over next election as INEC seeks to reconfigure BVAS. Uncertainty over next election as INEC seeks to reconfigure BVAS. Okay, that's on page 4 of The Guardian. On page 7 of The Guardian, we have Senate presidency, APC tips Southeast. Senate presidency, APC tips Southeast. Okay, that story is on page 7 of The Guardian newspaper. On page 6 here, we have waiting game as lawyers argue CBN's compliance with Supreme Court verdict. Waiting game as lawyers argue CBN's compliance with Supreme Court verdict. That's on page 8 of The Guardian. And lastly, in The Guardian here on page 22, lawyer demands income expenditure details of INEC on the electoral process. Lawyer demands income expenditure details of INEC on electoral process. Okay, that story is on page 22 of The Guardian. That's the much we can take in The Guardian newspaper. Jennifer, uncertainty over next election as INEC seeks to reconfigure BVAS. How do you react to this headline?
Anyways, to me, there will still be an election come March 11th.
Okay.
The election, because right now is already, today is 7th, and we haven't heard anything from the INEC chairman. If the election is not to hold, they would have passed an information. There would have been a proper information to the cancellation of the election. So to me, the election will still hold.
But right now, there are concerns over the fact that maybe, just maybe, INEC has some intentions to, carry out some foul play on the beaver machines, to erase evidences that prove that they did compromise on the 25th of February, Fool's Day. So right now there are concerns. A lot of Nigerians are seriously, calling out INEC and stating that the Supreme Court should order them not to reconfigure these beavers. I don't know how you react to this.
Though I'm not an IT personnel, but I would like to say that if actually, if the BVAS was well put, there should be no call for reconfiguration.
Okay.
That's if the BVAS was well put. There should be no call for reconfiguration.
Because it now gives us the questions. It now begins to raise questions like,
yes.
Is it that INEC doesn't plan to keep records of results of elections?
Yes. Then, on the other hand, if you can actually retrieve the BVAS and still keep whatever information that is already existing on the BVAS, there's no problem.
Okay.
Or better still, I don't know if they can actually go for a new one right now.
Because
so the consensus is very high. So many Nigerians are saying, does it mean that when they retrieve this, that there's some kind of hanky-panky, they've done something, they want to erase it, exactly, or what? But if actually you will know, of course, election results should be kept.
Definitely. So I don't know.
I think the BVAS should serve as the archive.
Yes.
Of maybe in the next 4 years, we say this was how last 4 years went. So where is our archive? Do they want to tell us that the reconfiguration means reconfiguration? Does it mean wiping away
the memory? Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand.
Of previous elections.
Though right now, so many professionals have spoken about it. So many lawyers from different states in the country, they've actually said that they are not granting INEC that particular request right now, and that is why the March 11th seems uncertain. But today is 7th, few days to go. There's no uncertainty about March 11. I think the governorship election will still hold. Maybe they'll provide new BVAS.
New BVAS?
I don't know why they're so concerned.
New BVAS means new money.
I don't know why they're so concerned. The last election, the BVAS were not in use.
For crying out loud, they spent so much on this particular
about 400 billion naira.
So how can you spend that amount of money on machines that are not capable of keeping records on the long run?
You're talking about reconfiguration.
Okay, we'll go on a quick break right now, and when we return, we'll continue from where we stopped. Please stay tuned.
Hey there! Are you looking to record your videos, do your voiceovers, and take your professional pictures? Look no further. With our state-of-the-art newsroom, photography, kitchen for our food content creators, and exclusive children's studio, we certainly can deliver the best studio experience. Our carefully designed studio space can bring your diverse creative content ideas to life. We aim to consistently serve value to our customers far and wide. Come, let Tharv Media give life to your dreams. Tharv Media, a slice of infotainment.
Okay, you are welcome back. Still on the newspaper review here on Tharv TV. We're looking now at the Vanguard newspaper, which is going to be our last paper for the day. This one here on the boldest headline here on page 5 in the Vanguard says, Polls. Tinubu lashes out as Atiku leads protest to INEC. Okay, Tinubu lashes out as Atiku leads protest to INEC. That story is on page 5 of the Vanguard. And in the world of sports, on page 31, the Gambia dump flying eagles out. The Gambia dump flying eagles out. Okay, that's a sad story there for Nigeria. Nigerians around the world. And in the world of, in health, we have on page 20, IVF doesn't always lead to multiple birth. Okay, embryologist is saying on page 20. Okay, IVF doesn't always lead to multiple birth. That's according to an embryologist on page 20 of the Vanguard. Okay, back to politics now on page 15. This one says presidential poll. INEC seeks a variation of inspection order granted Obi Atiku. Presidential poll. INEC seeks variation of inspection order granted Obi Atiku. You can get more headlines of that, more details of that headline on page 15. On page 13, here we have NNPP. Kano government. Baker over plots to disrupt Gober election. NNPP. Kano government. Baker over plots to disrupt Gober election. That story is on page 13. On page 8, we have Army probes soldiers killing of unit commander. Others in Sokoto. Army probes soldiers killing of unit commander. Others in Sokoto. More of that headline is on page 8. On page 9, we need 869 billion naira to conduct census. That's according to federal government. We need 869 billion naira to conduct census. That's according to federal government on page 9. On page 6, diphtheria. Diphtheria outbreak kills 61 in Kano. Diphtheria outbreak kills 61 in Kano. That's a sad news there on page 6 of the Vanguard. And on page 19, we have Naira redesign. Banks obey Supreme Court. Pay old notes. Naira redesign. Banks obey Supreme Court. Pay old notes. That story is on page 19. And on page 13, CSOs orders kick. CSOs others kick as reps majority leader Dogua gets bail. And lastly, in the Vanguard for today, we have on page 6 here. This one says gunmen kill pastor and 2 sons in Kano. That's a sad one. Gunmen kill pastor, 2 sons in Kano, in a plateau. I beg your pardon. Okay, that story is on page 6. That's the much we can take in the Vanguard newspaper. Okay, so Jennifer, one more. I'd like to get your reaction to the Naira redesign. Banks obeying the Supreme Court order and issuing of old notes.
The Naira redesign is no longer, I don't want to say it's no longer news, yet it remains news in Nigeria that the Naira redesign really brought lots of things. It weighed people down, it has sent some to their early grave, and it has made some lose businesses, multi-million businesses, and it has also made so many people to lose their dealings. And also it has boosted some people's businesses, like the POS.
Yes.
And the people in the money industry.
The POS merchants now are the real
goons.
Oil wells in the country.
Yeah, that's the real oil wells. That's the right word to use. Anyways, on Friday last week, the Supreme Court brought to a conclusion the case that has been lingering in the court from different governors from about 10 states, and the conclusion was that the old 500 naira notes and the 1,000 naira notes should continue to be in use till the 31st of December. And you know, they actually did this without knowing the CBN.
So why all the stress?
The say of the CBN. They've done their part.
Why all the stress?
That's why they're called the Supreme Court. They've done the stress is that the Naira policy has come to stay. It's not as if the Naira policy has been swept under the carpet. It has come to stay. Then the question is, why all the stress?
Yes.
You know,
If you
because,
know
because
that, if you know that you are going to, sorry for cutting you actually.
Okay.
But if you know that you are going to somehow, some way, still approve for the circulation of the old 1,500 500 naira notes to the 31st of this month, if you know that was possible, why put Nigerians under so much stress and pressure
and pressure, and you
to
know,
let go of their old notes? Some have even, spent the old notes out of fear of, okay, let me not hold this, and then it becomes still in my hands where I cannot spend it anymore. So they use it anyhow they like.
they just did away with it.
And now you're not telling them, okay, they can now use the old notes. It's almost like they are playing with the citizens. I don't know if you get that impression.
Yeah, Cyril, can I come in? It's when we say they achieved something, there was an achievement.
Which was?
And I still want to let you know that this policy still stands. But where the question comes in is why the extension of dates while allowing Nigerians to suffer when you know that you would have given them a long time to adapt. When you know that you would have given them a long time so that the old money can fizzle out and the new money dominates the whole place. That question is left for the federal government. I, Jennifer, I am not the federal government. Even right now, the banks that are actually giving out the old note, they have said that they are not working. CBN has not actually given them a go-ahead.
Yes.
That the memo coming from CBN is actually not a legit one right now. But they just have, that's GT Bank, Access Bank, they just have to give out the old note, but they're not receiving, they are not collecting the old notes from customers, rather they are giving out. I think they should continue, they should do it fast, so that these POS merchants can allow us to be.
Okay.
POS people they've really made people to go bankrupt within a space of 3 weeks.
Like
all our earnings are in the hand of POS merchants.
Being scared to withdraw my own money.
Your own to buy
your
money.
Own, buy
Don't say
money,
withdraw
yeah.
money.
To buy my own money.
You can only withdraw when you go to the bank and
Yes.
you know what it means.
Yes, exactly. So we now have to buy our own money
Buy your
as
money.
a result of the situation of things in the country. But better days are coming, better days ahead. So if you're Nigerian, hang in there, don't lose hope. Thank you so much, Jennifer, one more for joining me on the program today. I really appreciate, and I also appreciate
Thank
you,
you,
my wonderful viewers who have been faithful to your screen up until this very moment. You are special because without you, this program won't be possible. We would not be here. But we have come to the end of the newspaper review for today. Thank you so much. My name is Cyril Aloysius. Please, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, make sure you do so. And after subscribing, turn on your notification bell so you get notified when we come online and drop new videos. And also check us out on different social media platforms. Check us out on YouTube, we're Tap TV on YouTube, on Instagram, we are Tap TV_NG, on Facebook and Twitter, we're Tap TV. My name is Cyril. I watch this once again, and I'm saying bye for now.